What is going on, Multiversers? Welcome back to the channel. So we got a little bit of good news here. So the playtest started last Friday for Multiversus, right? The second one. Great. Some people got in, some people didn't get invited, but it's okay. We'll get in eventually. But here's the thing. There were some people that were saying that they got invited. They got an email saying they were invited to the tech test, but they never got the code for it, right? So what's going on with that? How am I going to get invited, but I need the code to get in, but you don't give me the code, so how am I supposed to try this out? Luckily, I think they have their solution, right? Unfortunately, some people might have to wait a little bit, but listen, look, Multiversus, the official Twitter says this, right? If you got an invite to the tech test, but didn't get a code, stay tuned. More codes are being sent out next week. Thank you for your patience. So, I mean, technically, week-wise, doesn't Monday start off the week? So, today's next week from when they sent this out. So start looking at your emails, because if you did get that first email saying you were invited, start checking again. You might get another email with the code. So hopefully everybody that did get invited but didn't get a code will now get a code to get into the playtest and enjoy it. So yeah, and I believe some people were even telling me that they could, there's like a way to invite friends or something. So look into that. I don't know how to do that, but look into it nonetheless. So there's ways to get in. If you had a friend that got in, try looking it up. There's ways to get in, even if you don't officially have a code, but you could get in. Trust me. There's people that will be willing to, do that for you. But either way, good news. More codes are on the way. So it's not just for people that didn't get the codes. This might even include people that just a new wave of people. So either way, start checking your emails nonetheless, because more codes are being sent out. And that brings us to the next part of the video, which some of us did know this. There's been us that have been following this game for, well, since the game was officially revealed. But there's always new people jumping on board and always wanting to know questions that have been answered. But it's always good because Tony still answers these questions. Even though he's answered them about 1,000,000 times, he still goes out of his way and answers them anyway. But the question was, is there going to be a third test after this one? And Tony gives us a nice little reply of, yes. So that's good. It's a reaffirmation, another confirmation of another test is coming. But you know what else could be technically qualified as a test? An open beta. Now this is me thinking out loud a little bit, but an open beta technically is another test, because they'll use it to stress test the servers, test cross-platform play. Hopefully console players are included in that one. And we know console players will be included at some point, hopefully the next tech test, or the next test in general, which could be the open beta. But they hopefully, there's still things that they need to test out even in open beta state. So once they do that, right, good things. But that kind of leads into the next thing, right? Somebody on Twitter here asks a question. For people that haven't been able to play this yet, when's the open beta, right? And keep in mind, this is a question about the open beta, and that's what Tony's going to reply to. But it's painfully clear that we won't be accepted to this tech test. I mean, more codes are being sent out. We just went over that. And it's not like everyone was guaranteed to get in anyway. This was a select, limited people, so I get where he's coming from. I get where they're coming from. But, so when is the open beta? And this person thinks spring might be too soon, which I'll make a point for in a second why it might not be. Winter's too far. Agreed. Winter's too far for an open beta. So fall/late summer makes the most sense for an open beta. But I think the game might release in August. No reason. Just what I'm thinking. But here's the reply. Here's the main thing. Tony does say this. Thanks for the question. Our release, it pertains to the open beta, the question, remember, our release will be determined by how much and what we learn from the current test. We want to make a game that players love. So it's the exact same thing as before. You got the first play test that they got feedback from, that they applied to the game, and then they put out the next version of the tech test, right? So we're looking at the same thing, right? But our release will be determined. Our release for the open beta. So this is me. Maybe, is this some sort of hint? Not even a hint. Again, this is all me. Are they saying the next test is going to be the open beta? I don't know. But going back to the time frame wise, when they say spring, I believe this person is living in the US, if I had to guess by the way that they said all this stuff. Because when they say winter's too far, technically right now is winter, but it's just about to end, and spring is literally starting in March. Tomorrow is March in the US, so springtime, is that too soon? Well, maybe not, because you got March, April, and May. That's roughly springtime, all right? Well, okay, think about this. The first playtest, right? What was that, middle December? When it first started. Middle December. So when did this next tech test happen? Tech test 2. End of February. So what is that? About, we'll say 2.5 months. We'll be generous. 2.5 months. All right, if we look at the same sort of time frame, 2.5 months to 3 months. We'll say 3 months from when the second tech test started, which was the end of February. So then we go end of March, end of April, end of May. So we could be looking at around the end of May, early June for the next. Yes, we will go through another cycle like we just went through where when are we getting the next playtest? We don't know. Again, they need to apply what everyone is giving feedback on to the next game. People don't think something is good about character A, they need to change that. So whatever it might be, but it's good though. It does say the release is determined. It's going to be the same thing. It's basically copy paste from the first one to the second one, and then from the second tech test to the third one, which could be the open beta, but we'll have to see how that one plays out. But it's good news nonetheless. And I mean, that's kind of all I got for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little bit of news. Again, more codes being sent out, and an open beta could be the next test. Could be the next test version of this game, but we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully it is, and hopefully that the next one is when console players, hopefully, is the one we all get included. But yeah, we could see this. We could see, like, just remember, right before they officially announced Tech Test 2 starting, Tony was still getting questions on Twitter like crazy. When's the next playtest? When is it going to happen? And he was saying, we're still figuring it out. We're still heads down working. That was the reply that he was given. And then it just, boom, randomly pops up like, oh, hey, new playtest is happening. So it could literally happen the day after any day after Tony says we're still working and applying what we learned. So we'll have to wait and see. It's coming nonetheless, and yeah, we just got to have a little bit of patience. But either way, some people are still in it right now, and again, this tech test ends next Monday. So just enjoy it while you have it, because it'll be gone, but then it'll come back, and then maybe it'll go into early access or something like that. But either way, that is all I got for today. I hope you guys enjoyed, as always, and I guess I'll see you when I'm looking at you.